He's warming up.
Now I'm going live stream. Welcome everyone
Will
to.
also sit and speak just like everyone.
Pardon?
Will also just sit and speak.
We are live stream,
No
sir.
need to stand or anything.
No, not needed. Not needed.
Yeah.
I think with that, welcome everyone to meeting number 225 of Gurugram Professional Toastmasters. Let's begin with a round of applause. Online audience, applause. 225 is also a milestone meeting, a milestone in two ways, of course, by the number as well as how we are joining, trying out, experimenting with a specific hybrid format as well. So we welcome all the audience members and the club members in this prestigious meeting. Yep, muted. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, what exactly is Toastmasters? It's a platform where we provide positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, to actually manifest all that, we need to abide by a few ground rules. Number one, let's be mindful of our mute video movements, etc., the audio and video specifically, because it's an online/hybrid format. So our run towards movements audibly or visibly may cause distraction to the speaker on stage. Number two, let's be mindful of the devices making undue sounds, as well as the browser windows where there may be a WhatsApp or a chat box where it triggers suddenly an unwanted sound. Let's be mindful of that as well. When your turn comes, as much as possible, keep the video on. We will do an audio video check before handing over to the next speaker. All the three section masters, the Toastmaster of the evening, of the day, the table topic master, as well as the general evaluator. We will do an audio video check and then start your timings. Worry not. Let's do it till satisfied. Number three, this meeting is being live streamed. It's also a meeting of 18 plus adults. It's also our responsibility as adult speakers speaking in a live stream Toastmasters meeting to be mindful of the language, the intent that we are displaying over here. As much as possible, speak responsibly, or if not sure, avoid speaking towards sex, politics, religion, any other sensitive topics that may be probably too touchy for speakers present over here, as well as any audience members watching it or consuming it at a later time. Last but not the least, emojis. I think this is the next best thing that we can do to show encouragement to speakers on stage. How about I request, not demand, request all of you to just pretend that you are laughing at my jokes. Can you give me a laughing emoji? Anyone? Give me a laughing emoji. Let's see if you can try out with the emojis. Or a thumbs up will do as well. So Sanjida, Amit, Dalip, Rupinder and team, let's give a thumbs up. Just to show that yes, we are here and okay. Rupinder is fake laughing. All right. Fantastic. That being said, this is a meeting where we are carving out a place beyond the personal and professional life where we can feel safe, we can practice public speaking, leadership, and life skills. And there is no better example of the next person that I'm inviting who has literally given his tears, blood, and sweat to make this platform a most welcoming place in multiple different roles across the years. Currently, he is serving as district training manager of District 41. And this gentleman is going to play a major part at the upcoming District 41 conference oration the next weekend as well. No wonder today's theme is all about that. To help me welcome, please join me in thunderous round of applause. Let's welcome Toastmaster Nimit Mittal. Nimit, spotlighting you. Please confirm if you can hear us.
Thank you, Anand.
Over to you.
I can hear you. Thank you. I hope all of you can hear us as well. Right on.
Yes, I can.
So good morning to everyone and welcome to Gurugram Professional Toastmasters meeting number 225. We three people in person and you folks joining us from different parts of the world. Let us together enjoy this very moment and learn all together from this meeting and Toastmasters community as a whole. Today, I am standing in for our club president, Toastmaster Ankit, who could not join us, but I warmly welcome you all to this meeting and also would like to extend the gratitude towards the guests and dignitaries who have joined today. I'll start with the distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, who is in attendance. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, he's sitting just beside me. And then we have a few guests as well who are would be very shortly joining us as members, like Bhuvan, our ex-member itself. And then we have a few Toastmasters from different clubs, I suppose, in Amit and a couple of guests as well. So just would like to know a little more about you in the upcoming sections, and I request all of you to please participate as much as possible. It's a it's a very small cohort today, but then let us make our presence felt. If possible, try to switch on your video so that we also know that we are all sitting next to each other and having a great time while learning. So while we are doing this venue hopping for the last 3 weeks as a club, Gurugram Professional Toastmasters, I understand that, of course, we are trying to find a permanent address, permanent home for our club, as compared to what we used to meet only online. Now that we have that support from the members and other benefactors of the club, I would really take this opportunity to and invite you to join us in person if possible in Gurgaon. Nevertheless, to facilitate everyone to be part of our meetings, we have conducted this one as a hybrid meeting as an experiment as to if we can continue doing hybrid meetings or should we just stick to in-person meetings. So that decision remains to be taken. It remains to be seen as to how it will go. But for today, let us join in and enjoy the rest of the meeting. I warmly welcome you once again. And as far as today's theme is concerned, it is all about oration. So those who may not know about oration would know that how grand this event is and how significant it is in Toastmasters community and how it can benefit each and everyone, no matter if you are a guest or a Toastmaster or a veteran Toastmaster. There's something for every one of you and every one of us. So those who could get the tickets to oration, consider yourself very fortunate. And those who probably shall be missing out, at least let us understand more about the event so that you don't miss out on it the next year. So to talk more about oration and to who has seen it for considerable number of years, who has been part of it, who has achieved the most out of it, and which has helped him himself in his Toastmaster journey and as a human being himself. So let us invite on the stage the Toastmaster today, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. All about Toastmasters. Rupinder Singh.
Thank you, Nimit. Oration is the District 41 Toastmasters Conference. So what is a Toastmasters Conference? It is where all Toastmasters in a given district come together to share ideas, to share stories, to share experiences with the intent of enriching themselves and at a level empowering themselves. I'm here to talk about oration, and I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why you should go to oration, if not this year, then maybe next year, and 1 reason that you should not go. So I've explained to you what is oration. Think of it as a club meeting that encompasses a whole district. Now, those of you who are not familiar with what a district is, for the guests, we have a Toastmasters club. 3 or more Toastmasters clubs come together to form an area. 3 or more areas come together to form a division, and 3 or more divisions, they come together to form a district. Essentially speaking, what you're looking at is about, at a minimum, 81 clubs coming together. And assuming that the average strength of a club is, let's say, 12, then we're talking about 960 member audience. Usually it is somewhere between 2,000 to 3,500. This is a platform where you get to showcase your skills, you get to showcase your achievements, and you get to celebrate them. I will delve more into what oration is about. But before that, a typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections. The first section is, of course, prepared speeches, where people come and where people prepare the speeches and they come and deliver it on stage. Today, we have 1 prepared speaker in the form of Anant Katyayani, who will be called on stage. Then we have table topics. Table topics are impromptu speaking occasions, and we have Bhuvan sitting here looking at 2 devices simultaneously. Third, if you consider the laptop, probably looking for table topics. And the final session, the most important session, it's called the evaluation session, where everyone, including myself, we get evaluated. This section is headed by somebody called a general evaluator, and our general evaluator today is soon to be distinguished Toastmaster Nimit Mittal. So let's just put him on stage, and he will take the proceedings from here onwards.
Thank you, Rupinder. Hello, I'm back, and this time wearing the hat of the general evaluator. As explained by Rupinder, I would be heading this section where everyone gets some insights as to where did they do well and how can they further improve in their roles and responsibilities within this meeting, and how can they take those learnings and suggestions going forward into the subsequent meetings and in your life as a whole. So in that endeavor, because it's a big responsibility, I would like to share that responsibility with my couple of colleagues here who would help me in bringing out the best evaluation, best feedback possible for you. So, and this is the way the Toastmasters really operates and would bring value to you from this meeting. So we have 3 pillars in evaluation, telling more about and talking more about the conciseness of the message, the correctness of the message, and the clarity in the message. The conciseness is nothing but how well you are able to time your speeches or your stage presence. And for that, we have a timer. And today's timer would be played by the Zoom application itself in this era of technology. However, would be manually controlled and administered by distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyayani. Can you please show some features of the Zoom timer, Anant, and help people understand?
Thank you, General Evaluator. The timer device will work like this. With your first verbal, non-verbal gesture, a timer like this will start. There will not be any separate green, yellow, and red signal, and don't go by the colors at all. The timer picks up the colors based on the time duration itself. However, what you can remember is, after your time is exhausted, for example, 2 minutes for table topics, the timer will go reverse, and you will get 30 extra seconds, something like this. I'll give a soft signal, and you will hear an audible signal. Let's say after 2 seconds, what signal you sound. This is your mark that red card has now been flagged up. The timer will turn red, and 30 extra seconds you will get. The similar process will happen for prepared speakers after 7 minutes, 30 extra seconds. And for speech evaluators, after 3 minutes, the 30 extra seconds. The typical time given, unless the project specifies otherwise, the time for a prepared speech is 5 to 7 usually. Table topics 1 to 2 minutes, minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes plus this 30 seconds. And for a speech evaluator, 2 to 3 minutes. In an actual meeting, there is a whole system of flagged cards. Here we are keeping a non-verbal and non-visual distraction just by using technology itself. I'll present my report when general evaluator calls upon me, and I will present it during in the chat as well at that point simultaneously. Please stay within the time limits. If it's a contest, the timings will lead to disqualification as well if taken more than 30 seconds beyond your maximum allotted time. Over to you, Nimit.
Thank you, Anand, for explaining how the timing device would work today. And I hope all of you are clear with that. Next, we move on to someone who is going to take care of our grammar and who would share with us and as far as how correct we were in our communication. So let us invite the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Sanjida Akhtar.
Thank you, General Evaluator Nimit. Hello, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language uses, and I'll take note of any misuses of the language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce for today's meeting, the word is articulate, which means to be able to express thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively. An example of using the word is Toastmasters help us becoming more articulate and confident speaker. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll submit my report being called upon during the meeting. Over to you, Evaluator.
Thank you, Sanjida, the grammarian, and also for sharing the word of the day. In the meantime, we also have a guest in person. May I know your name, please? Lokesh. Hi, Lokesh, for joining us. Would you mind coming here so that everyone can also see you and you can also see? Yeah, sit here.
Hello, Mukesh.
Four of them are online.
So he is Lokesh, joining us in person.
Thanks, Lokesh.
Right. And next, we move on towards the clarity in speech, and that would be governed and taken up by Toastmaster Bhuvan Bagal as the accountant. I'll hand over to him for explaining his role today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nimit. I'm taking up the role of our counter today. So our counter, as most of you would know, and for the benefit of guests, I'll tell you, like basically, so the crutch words that people use which distract the clarity in the speech, and at times we cause unwanted pauses that I would be taking a note of, which will improve the clarity of your speeches. So I just Googled it up, and for my benefit, I found out that it improves speaking clarity, builds self-awareness, creates executive presence, encourages better thinking discipline. I don't know how many other benefits as well? Improves confidence during impromptu speaking, enhances listening skills, right? So with that, all the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for explaining to us what your role would be and how are you going to mark. So let us be very conscious about what we speak. At the same time, try to be natural, try to be free flowing as well. So that's the balance which we try to strike in terms of professional speaking. So there you are, Anant, Bhuvan, and Sanjida together would be supporting us in this endeavor of evaluating us on the basis of timeliness, the correctness in grammar, and the clarity in our speech. So I will come together with them in the general evaluation section and would be also sharing my own insights about them and the meeting as a whole. I am making my notes already and looking forward to all of you to articulate your speeches and thoughts very well and bring your best to this meeting. With that, let us invite our Toastmaster today back on the stage.
Thank you, Nimit, for that rather articulate explanation of the general evaluator's role. And thank you, all the role players, for so articulately explaining what your role is. So reason number one for going to Oration, the District 41 event. My first Oration event was in 2016. It was in the picturesque location of Goa.
When?
And I was, and
Can you please take it offline later?
if you have to leave, you can. It's okay. It's not a problem.
Whenever you want to leave, you can leave.
Actually, when Haggis is मेरे को पता नहीं है मुझे बस साउथ से आया था कि इवेंट है
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay. So my first ever Oration event was Goa in 2016. And I was overwhelmed by the sheer hugeness of the event. I was in every direction I looked from the stage. I had gone on the stage to collect a few awards, not to deliver any speech or a keynote. I was just fresh into Toastmasters. As far as the eye could see, I could just see people. And it got me thinking, it requires a lot of preparation to organize an event like that. And whether I have that capability to organize an event like that. One person who does have that capability is giving a prepared speech today. He was the Oration registration chair or in some form
Oration chair
Oration chair
last year.
in Oration chair last year. And he probably knows more about Oration, having organized it, having prepared for it than I do. Anant today is going to attempt a speech from the path motivational strategy. It is a level 3 elective. Timer, please note that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. There's a 30-second grace on either side. What the speaker is required to do. Practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story for 5 to 7 minutes. Anant Katyayani, let's do an audio video check.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Anant Katyayani, a cabin in the woods. A cabin in the woods, Anant Katyayani.
The woods were lovely, dark and deep. And Rashmi there had a cabin to keep. And miles to go before okay, scratch that, wrong opening. It's the story of Rashmi, a millennial girl like you and me, most of you, and certainly me. And she was fed up of this corporate life, living in a metro city. So what she did was quite radical. She sold off all her belongings in the metro, and she shifted to a hill station in Uttarakhand where she had a family farm. She built a cabin in the woods over there. And the only companion in that woods, in that cabin with her, was Lucy. Now, Lucy was a Labrador, a black female one. She was practically her half sister. You can call her soul sister as well. They grew up together in their childhood, and wherever Rashmi went, she kept Lucy along. Now, the perks of shifting to a scenic location like that is you don't have the noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, any sort of pollution. The downside is you are so far away from the humanity that the nearest grocery replenishment task takes you to around 10 kilometers downstream. So the nearest town from where she restocked her supplies every 15 days or so was around 10 kilometers away. But Rashmi didn't mind so. She had a cabin in the woods after all. How many of us fantasize about a place all to ourselves like that? Raise a hand. Do you? Have you ever fancied? Well, you certainly did if you had a boss like Rashmi. So Rashmi was chill. Rashmi was ecstatic. Rashmi was in heaven, both literally and figuratively. Until one night, Rashmi woke up with the sound of tip. Now, Rashmi woke up and she immediately felt a moist, rather soggy touch on the back of her hand dangling from the bed. A tingle ran down her spine. And suddenly the silence, the peace was broken by a sound of a broken window. And Rashmi just peeped down and saw Lucy waking along with her and licking her back of the hand. Rashmi caught her breath, went to the kitchen, and saw that the window was broken, the broken window sill was making the sound, and the tap was leaking. Tip by tip. Rashmi, who had found a new piece, suddenly felt agitated. You know why? Because the nearest repairman was around 10 kilometers away, and she had to wait for quite a few days. But she said, all right, I'll get it fixed soon. Went back to sleep, asked Lucy to sleep as well. A few days passed. Another night, a dust storm, hailstorm raging outside. And suddenly, Rashmi woke up again with the same set of parameters. A broken window, a soggy touch on the back of her hand, and the sound of tip, tip, tip. Rashmi felt like, all right. She opened one eye, peeped down, and there she was, Lucy, with the leaky tap and the broken window in the kitchen. Rashmi said, all right, I will fix it again. I'll fix it soon. Give it a few days. A few more days passed. It became sort of every 3-4 nights later, it sort of became a ritual. One final night, Rashmi felt the same thing. The sound of broken window. The sound of tip, tip, tip. And the same moist, soggy, licking touch on her hand. And Rashmi was like too agitated. And she said, Lucy, sleep. And she went back to sleep. She didn't wake up this time. It had become quite a routine. The next morning, Rashmi woke up. She called out Lucy, who usually jumped on her bed the moment she woke up. And this time, Lucy didn't respond to the call. A tingle ran down her spine again. She thought maybe she left the door open. Lucy went out to venture somewhere outside. And the moment she woke up, she put her feet down. Her feet touched something wet, sticky, red. Her eyes bewildered. She looked up on terrace. And there was Lucy, hanged on a hook, dripping blood. Tip, tip, tip. And it was written on the walls 4 horrendous words. Humans can lick too. Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. Thank you, Anant, for that very engaging speech. We now move on to our next section, and in order to explain that, let me tell you about the second lesson that I learned at Oration. And that lesson is that people like to do business with people they know and believe in. A bit of a background here. Before I went to Oration, I had just been laid off and I had gone through my final day at the school, at the old organization. And I was in the middle of looking for jobs. I did not have to wait too long, thanks in part to Oration. Met up with someone who hooked me up with someone, led to an interview, led to me getting another job, and thereby showing continuity on my resume. The point is, you never know what is going to happen. Similar to table topics, you never know what you're going to get. Our table topic master today is someone who's enthusiastic. When he gets hold of something, he will pursue it with all his energy. And someone who's always willing to learn, go the extra mile. Bhuvan is an IT professional working at Off Business, and he has some topics for us today. I will hand the stage over to Bhuvan. Everyone silently pray that he doesn't come up with eccentric topics. Over to you, Bhuvan. Let's have a round of applause.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. I hope he feels the same way offline as well as is mentioning online. I'm very glad. Okay, table topic section, the most exciting section. For me, I'll tell you my experience. I went to a Toastmaster club. I had a fear of public speaking, like a lot of other people as well. In fact, research states that it is a lot of people fear public speaking more than the fear of death, right? And I had the same fear as well. And I could last around 13 seconds when the timer told the report, and I was all red. Therefore, table topics, but in the very next meeting, I came to Turning Point Toastmasters. I had given up, but my friend at that time, Diwakar, he told that we should give it another time, another chance. And we went to Turning Point Toastmasters Club, and coincidentally, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder was taking a session on table topics, how to crack table topics, and we did a number of table topics that time. And I thought, wow, this thing can be cracked. So I wish that how many of you are guests over here?
Only Dilip.
Only Dilip is a guest. Okay. So Dilip, I hope you have a good time over here and other members also. So I have prepared some interesting table topics on the topic decisions in life that has shaped your destiny, right? So if I can invite, maybe Nimit, you can take up the first topic,
Sure.
right? And before that, in general, what does table topic teach us, right? When I just did a quick Google, it improves our quick thinking, builds confidence to speak without preparation. In life, a lot of time it happens when boss pops up a quick question, you want to say something, but you hold on yourself, you're not confident. It is these table topics or preparation that helps you overcome that fear or gives you that confidence to be upfront and calculatively portray what you want to actually say, right? Instead of just being silent. Enhances communication clarity, develops leadership presence, sharpens listening skills, encourages creativity. So a huge number of benefits over there, and thinking on your toes is another one. So with that, let's begin. I'd like to invite Toastmaster Nimit for the first table topic. Toastmaster Nimit, what is more powerful in shaping life, luck, hard work, or timing? Toastmaster Nimit, what is more powerful in shaping life, luck, hard work, or timing?
Thank
Over to
you. Thank you, Table Topics Master. I have seen and I have tried all the three keys in shaping my life, be it luck, be it hard work, or be it timing. And now I can confidently say that even though all the three keys work, but there's a combination, just like any bank locker, there's a combination of two keys per se, which would open that locker, which would open all the success for you. Those two keys, which have to be put together, are luck and timing. Yes, hard work pays dividends. Yes, hard work makes you qualified enough to reach and try out your luck at that particular time. I say so because in my life, be it my professional life or in my Toastmasters leadership journey, I have seen it in multiple occasions that it's not only your hard work, it is how you are in the right position at the right place and working with the right relations, working with the right people, and speaking out at the right time values more than only hard work. So Bhuvan, just to conclude, it is the two keys, luck and timing, which would overpower and supersede the third key of hard work. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much for your fantastic attempt, Toastmaster Nimit. Now I'd like to invite maybe Sanjida can take up the next table topic. I'll give you an easy one and I'll make you rich.
Sanjida,
Okay.
please confirm the audio video check.
Am I audible?
You are
Yes, you are.
audible. So the topic for you is, suppose, Sanjita, if suddenly you got 100 crores today, how would your life change? Sanjita, if you get 100 crores today, how would your life change?
Okay. Drastically. Thank you so much for this topic. If I get 100 crores today, how would my life change? So the answer would be it would change drastically. One, that I'll not have to be dependent on job. Probably I'll set aside some money and start building a manufacturing hub, which would build a lot of semiconductors and make me rich. That is number one. And number two, I'll buy a lot of assets like land and buy a property in London, if that is making sense. Yeah. So, and it will also help me not to stress too much. Nowadays, a lot of there's no security in the job. So if I have 100 crores in my bank today, I hope the EC will not come and raid my place. But if that's not the case, I'll just, utilize that money and make sure that I have a secured, future and try to build in generational wealth. Over to you, table topic masters. Yeah. I can't hear you. Is this problem from my side?
They are on mute.
I'm saying that a lot of people would have said that I want to help poor and needy and build hospitals, whatnot. Still not. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. I just don't agree with what you are saying.
Okay, who's next? Dilip?
Dilip,
Dilip,
you
can you
want to
hear
do
us?
that?
Dilip, can you unmute
Yes,
yourself?
yes, I can.
Okay, we have a table topic for you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes,
Dilip, what decision in your life
Okay.
took the most courage?
repeat again, please.
What decision in your life took the most courage? Dilip.
I kind of lost in between. I think the statement was what decision it took me to take a lot, right? Okay, okay.
The most courage.
So,
Yes.
okay. So it was uh, uh, definitely getting married. So I was too scared of getting married. Being there are a couple of things are going to get changed, specifically my own independence. This is something I had in my mind when I was not married, and there were and there was also a sense of getting a lot of responsibilities, which I thought at that point of time that I was not ready enough to take those responsibilities. However, when I met my better half, um, then I realized that maybe it is the time. Although I asked some time from my parents and her parents and from her as well, and somehow I also got some time. However, they were in a rush, and finally I got married uh, before the time which I was stipulating, expecting that I'm going to get married by that time. But before that, I got married. So it was definitely, the decision I took at that point of time. It took a lot of time for me. Thank you.
You are on mute. During the table topics, I put it on mute for you. So you have to unmute.
Okay, we have to unmute ourselves. Thank you so much for your attempt, Dalip. And indeed, I truly agree with you. Marriage for all the married men and I believe women as well. It is one of the most scary decisions that they take, hopefully fulfilling. Now, if I can invite, yes, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Anant Katyani.
Hello.
Describe a failure that later became a blessing in disguise. Distinguished Toastmaster Anand Katyani, describe a failure that later became a blessing in disguise.
Thank you, Bhuvan. I think my mind straight away goes to that fateful day when I spoke for the very first time in a Toastmasters meeting. And I have often repeated the same thing, but at the risk of sounding repetitive again, just describing it again, I was suddenly caught to be sent on stage. I don't even remember the topic till this date. What exactly was the hell the topic was? All I remember is how I introduced myself. Hello, I'm Infosys. I'm from Anant. And after that blunder, I had two ways. Either I would not have stepped foot in that meeting ever again, or as it really happened, people actually applauded for that blunder. Just like you chuckled right now, they chuckled along with me, not at me. So, in a way, I feel this was one of the most disastrous moment, the most embarrassing moment of my life, because it was not an individual humiliation, it was rather a public humiliation. At the same time, I got introduced to a set of people, like-minded community, which actually gave me the courage, the safe space that we were talking about in the beginning of the meeting. That is the day, and till today, and God knows till I take my last breaths, I will always remain a member of Toastmasters. Because of that one moment of kindness by a random group of strangers, I feel a sense of belonging in this room, in this meeting, in this place, whether 4 people or 400 people or 40 million people. I don't care. As long as I have a few people, a few genuine, noble souls who think of helping me grow, and likewise in return, I think that's one of the best decisions I have made in a disastrous moment. So I think that's one day I always will remember as the brightest, though humiliating, but the brightest moment of my life, always and always. Over to you, Bhuvan.
We have to unmute ourselves. We are unmuted. Can you ever believe that such a eloquent speaker, a distinguished Toastmaster, who's just given a speech,
Yeah,
fumbled on stage? So that is the true power of the platform we are on. It changes life. It radically transforms ourselves, and I am especially proud that we are together in this to improve ourselves. The very last topic for the last but not the least, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self at age 18, what it would be? Distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self at age 18, what it would be?
In my opinion, I would tell my younger self to take care of my health more diligently. The reason I say so is I scream. You may find it weird, so let me try and explain to you what I mean by it. Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. As you can see, I am not an epitome of physical health. And that has been a limiting factor for me. Last year, I was at a celebration. And I don't know who you want to believe. Per my account, I just fell asleep. According to my wife, I fainted. And according to the doctor that was there, I went into a diabetic coma. My sugar shot up. And I had to make some lifestyle changes. And one of those lifestyle changes was not to have ice cream ever again. That happened on the June 25th of last year. Since then, I've had ice cream only once. And that was when I came back to India. I promised my son that I would have my ice cream with him, and we did have ice cream. A promise was fulfilled. But coming back to what I would tell my 18-year-old, I would tell that person, please take care of your health, because your body is the one place where you're going to live forever. Take care of your health if you love ice cream. Mr. Topics Master.
Indeed, health is wealth, and no matter how much success you enjoy, if we are not healthy, at the end of the day, it's quite painful, right? Thank you so much, everyone, for taking part in the table topics. You were all courageous and wonderful session that we had. With that, I'd like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Some excellent topics there and some very articulate speeches also. Let's have a round of applause. Before I hand over for the evaluation section, I'd like to evaluate a few table topic speakers. Then I'll hand it over to Nimit, who will evaluate my speech, and then we'll get on with the rest of the evaluation. Nimit got the topic luck, hard work, or timing. Which one of these would he prefer? And he made a very good case for luck plus timing. It's a bit of a chicken and egg story. If you don't work hard, luck will not favor you. And if you don't find luck, then hard work has gone in waste. He kind of brought that out very well. He brought out that disparity very well. My suggestion for Nimit is straight away get into the meat, which is the example. You took too long to get to that example. Sanjida, you got the topic if you got 100 crore today. And I was caught off guard. I started thinking that what if I got 100 crore? And it might very well be that I might get this table topic next week in the table topics contest. And you gave me some ideas. And one of the ideas that you gave that, job independence. And I thought that 100 crore automatically equals job independence. So I could talk about job independence. So that is one. What I would want you to do, and this is where you can also answer questions like, tell me something about yourself. Have a vision. Have a vision about something you always wanted to do. And suddenly now you have the means to do it. Outline that vision. For example, I dream of an education portal that is accessible for everyone, and that kind of serves as your one-stop shop for anything related to development, learning and development. And I wanted either free or really cheap. I want to democratize learning. And 100 crores will go a long way in doing that. So probably think along those lines, have a vision. Dilip, what decision in your life took the most courage? Marriage is a default answer for a lot of people. It's a good thing that you're married because you gave some excellent examples. Examples is where you have your opportunity. What I want you to do is take 3 examples and try to make a prepared speech out of it. It will make for a wonderful prepared speech. Anant, describe a failure that later became a blessing in disguise. Hello, I'm Infosys. I'm from Anant. Super. And with that, a hooray to Toastmasters, and may you talk to 14,700,000 people one day. Why I say that is because it is divisible by 49, and I have this obsession with number 7. The only flaw that I could find in your speech, Anant, is that you started with thank you. At your level, starting with thank you is cliche. It's almost like Anant is fishing for an answer right now, if I may be bold enough to say so. Coming to my final learning in from oration, as to the third reason why you should go, it broadens your horizons. When you deliver a speech in club, you're giving it in front of about 10 or 12 people or about 6 people like today. But at the district level, the sheer size of that occasion, you're speaking in front of 500 if you get the opportunity. I've been fortunate enough to speak at that level. Nimit has been, so has Anand. It changes you. You kind of look at nervousness with excitement. You learn to positively channel your nervousness. And one of the ways to positively channel our nervousness is through evaluations, encouraging, effective, enriching, empowering evaluations. And who better to do that than an epitome of empowerment, Toastmaster Nimit Mittal. Let's have a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Rupinder, for sailing us through the journey of oration and how it can add so much of value to us as Toastmasters and even the guests who, if witness oration, can get all these and much more from this grand event, annual event called oration. As a general evaluator, I would first like to call upon.
You will evaluate me, my speech first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me first take the opportunity to evaluate distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder in his table topic, and then we dive into the speech evaluations and the other evaluations. So Rupinder, you got the topic that what advice would you give to your younger self at the age of 18? And you took a couple of moments because in my opinion and what I perceived was that you were going down the memory lane and you were going down into your own life to get the best advice which you want to give, and that was related to your own health. And because it has had a lot of impact in your your career and in everywhere, so you picked the best possible example, best possible advice, which would get it. So it was close to heart and it was from the heart. It was very relatable, very natural, and you backed it with an example which made it more impactful. Having said that, what could have added to that impact was what I felt is a more energy, just the way you were showing that energy while evaluating the other speeches. The same energy, if you could carry in your own speech, and by virtue of looking at the audience more rather than looking down on a couple of occasions, showing that you are thinking and then speaking, or fidgeting with small things here and there. Rather than that, maintain that eye contact and show that energy. Yes, I am confident and what I believe in and what I'm saying. So that's it from my side, and we'll continue with the rest of evaluations now. So we'll have the evaluation for our prepared speaker, Anand, and should I hand it over to you, Rupinder? Yeah.
Like I said, after the speech ended, I'll probably not be able to sleep tonight. At least not with the lights off. I'll probably have to turn on the night light today. I sleep next to a window. I sleep next to a window, and sometimes the rain does seep in and my arm might get moist. That was the effect that Toastmaster Anand had on my speech, on me. I'm pretty sure the audience. So general evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and very distinguished guests. Let me tell you what else I liked. The first thing that I liked was that Toastmaster Anand made the whole story come alive. You were Rashmi, you were there in the courts. And it was a dopamine rush because there was anticipation sprinkled throughout the speech. Also a bit of oxytocin when Toastmaster Anant described Rashmi and Lucy. Excellent visualization, vivid storytelling. Loved the setup, the plot. Of course, I will be afraid of tip, tip, tip. That vocal variety, the way he said tip, 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 it's a lesson for us. The volume slowly goes down and the audience is now constrained to listen to what the speaker is trying to say. More importantly, they don't want to move away because they might lose the plot. So in a speech that was this excellent, finding an area of opportunity was probably like finding a solution to the Strait of Hormuz. I was still able to eke out one recommendation though. Toastmaster Anand, the whole of your story, we were kind of intrigued, we were engaged. Towards your ending, I think you went a little descriptive. If that ending was not so descriptive, if it was as tight as the rest of the story, would have made for an excellent speech. For example, she saw blood on her hand. She looks up. She sees Lucy hanging and 4 words written. That would have been the perfect mic drop moment. That would have meant that I would have found a pillow to hug tonight. So work on that, Toastmaster Anand. Get your story tight in all the corners. Other than that, if you can tell stories other than the ones that you told today, I would be the first person to sign up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rupinder. And I hope Anand would just make all the notes and there would be a light bulb moment for him. And I hope we switch on our lights if we get to remember that speech at night. And it is true for the evaluation section as a whole. I request you all to keep your light bulbs on when listening to the evaluations. As we head on to our other evaluation, starting with the grammarian report from Sanjida. Over to you, Sanjida.
Sanjida, you're up.
Sanjida, you there? Yeah, you can proceed.
Sanjida, can you hear us? We can't hear you, Sanjida. If you are using any earphone and if they are out of juice, try disconnecting with them.
While Sanjida sorts it out, I request Anand to come up with the timer report.
Certainly, thank you. Sanjida will rejoin again. Meanwhile, it's time for me to present the report about the articulate speakers today. Starting with myself, the prepared speeches, I delivered for 6 minutes, 25 seconds. In table topics, Nimit took 1 minute, 56 seconds. Sanjida, second speaker, took 1 minute, 34. Dilip, 1 minute, 50 seconds. Myself as speaker 4 took 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Rupinder once again. And Rupinder himself took 1 minute, 57 seconds. Evaluations, the table topic evaluations combinedly for all 5 speakers took 4 minutes, 54 seconds. And for prepared speech evaluation, Toastmaster Rupinder took 3 minutes, 11 seconds. We started a little bit later than the scheduled time. So that's the only area of improvement. However, we are going to finish by the expected time. Presenting my report in the chat section as well for all of us to pursue at our current perusal. Over to you, Nimit.
Thank you so much, Anand, and the Zoom technology for the lovely timing report and the signals. I request Bhuvan to please come up and share your counter report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. Most of you did not trouble our counter as much, and I did not have much of a chance as well because I was taking care of table topics today. However, I could note some good usage of pauses today, especially distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder as well as Toastmaster Nimit. They used pauses graciously. And for our speaker, I observed during the speech as well as in the timer report that is your crutch word. Kind of 2 to 3 times you used in your speech as well as during the timer report as well. So that can be improved on. Rest I could not take much note of, but it was a healthy report from the R counters desk. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you so much for that encouraging report from your desk, Bhuvan. And I'll just check once more with Sanjida. Are you back?
Yes, am I audible now?
Yes, you're
Yes, you
audible.
are.
Thank you so much. Please proceed with your grammarian report.
So, hello everyone, I'm back with my report, and just wanted to share one thing before I share my report is that I'm using my phone and a lot of time it got dropped. But what I did during the speeches, well, I was listening to Anand's speech. It was full of so many good uses of words. I could not find any grammatical incorrectness in any of the speeches, be it prepared or table topic speeches, to note it down, and I was literally very hooked onto the speeches that were delivered today. So yeah, and of course, as usual, Nimit, Anand, and Rupinder always have good uses and a lot to learn from them. Apart from that, thank you for using the word of the day, articulate. And with that, again, apologies that I don't have a detailed report today. With that, I hand over the meeting to Nimit.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanjida, so much for sharing your report and doing the best what you could. And that is the essence, that is the spirit of Toastmasters. And indeed, to all of you who took part and shared your insights in this evaluation section. I just would like to share my 2 cents as well about the meeting as a whole also. Just like to start with, just like Anand mentioned about the starting late because of the certain logistic problems, and the people who were supposed to join physically, like us here, could not connect in time with you, and we could not start. Regardless, we'll take that factor into account the next time, and we endeavor to start on time. Starting with the role players, first up was Sergeant at Arms, Anant, and he explained all the points and all the housekeeping rules. And the one glaring appreciative note about his Sergeant at Arms address was that he makes everyone comfortable. He makes everyone at home, no matter a guest or a Toastmaster, they all look forward to a very encouraging session. And that is the whole idea about the Sergeant at Arms. And then you transitioned well to hand it over to me in line with the meeting theme of all about oration. Rupinder, the Toastmaster today, walked us through the reasons why one should be a part of oration. And even if we are not part of oration this year, how we must, and why we must look forward to the next year. So I hope you might have got some insights about oration. He talked about 3 reasons, largely around the organization skills and how we learn about and what all opportunities oration can bring. And then the networking aspect and how we can grow our business, how we can meet and greet many more industry leaders. And finally, the public stage, which everyone prays for, and how we can see champions speaking from there and how we can learn from them. So thank you, Rupinder, for everyone's benefit, showing us all about it. And you were well prepared, and also you transitioned well into the major role players. You knew about who's playing what, and you were well aware of the surroundings. You were also taking care of the guests, and you took further control in making notes of the table topics and participating in many forms as well. Coming to my team of auxiliary role players, starting with Sangeeta, the grammarian. Thank you so much, first of all, for taking up the role while dealing with network issues at your end, and yet doing your best and sharing with us the word of the day. Articulate. I encourage everyone to keep using those words. The word of the day in our day-to-day lives is also. Anant and Anand the timer, thank you so much for being so proactive, so actively involved with Zoom, so comfortable with Zoom that we never felt that we are actually missing a timer. There was always the right timing reported on the screen, and no disturbance or no botheration whatsoever. It was very smooth. Thank you, Anand, for facilitating that. Bhuvan, the R counter, although perhaps I put you in the spot right at the very last moment to take up the R counter, and perhaps it was not fair on you as well, but then you did full justice playing the R counter role. You explained the advantages and the benefits of the R counter role, and what, and if we speak clearly, what happens and what impact we can create. You were very proactive in just Googling about it and then doing the justice to your role and sharing what your overall observation about the crutch word, and also the pauses, the use of pauses. Having said that, a general suggestion for you would be, just like you said, that I Googled it up or I don't know. Perhaps it may be okay to share that vulnerability or weakness in one-to-one conversation. But when we are in a professional Toastmasters meeting and in a public setting, let us skip that part and let's hide that rather, and just focus on what you can deliver. Because what you hide is not coming onto the stage and is not being transcended. So that could have been easily avoided. Bhuvan, as a table topics master, was again very good. He brought in certain inspirational topics and some thought-provoking topics, which is the idea about table topics, and for the benefit of the guests and returning members as well. He told and gave insights about what table topics section is all about. Having that said that, I felt that you did a little too much. You took it at length, which I felt could have been just summarized into 2 or 3 sentences, and rather we can just complement it and reiterate the timings of the table topics, because members or guests may forget what they learned about it when the timer was introducing the timings. Then the certain general observations about the meeting. Because it was a hybrid meeting, it was a little technical as well, and it had its fair share of disturbances, or you can say some few things which could be ironed out. For example, there was a disruption in between when there was a background change at our end, which could have been avoided, which can be tried out later after the meeting. And this idea about muting us and unmuting us, I think we can just avoid it. Why? Because it's an hybrid meeting, and let it be as close to a physical setting now that we have come physically. So even if there is any natural noise or any crisscross, so let that happen and let that be covered as part of the general evaluation, because we are seated physically. So it adds one more step for us to focus on the laptop and unmute ourselves. So that was my observation and what I felt. Overall, it was a good mix of 3 people online, 3 people virtual, and it was a good team effort. Everyone participated, and I thoroughly loved the meeting. And with that, I will ask Rupinder to come back for his closure.
Thank you, Nimit, for that precise and concise general evaluation and the evaluation section. Now, before I close, what is the one reason you should not go to oration? In a word, it is the basic of networking, agenda. Understand that oration has an agenda. It is guided by the core values of Toastmasters: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. If you are going there with your own agenda, and if that agenda is going to violate any one or even one of these core values, then there is no point going there. In my many appearances at oration, I've had some excellent experiences, and I've had a few learning ones too. One of the biggest learnings that I had there was not to carry your own agenda. So if you're going with that thought, it's probably not going to work out. I've seen a lot of people trying to sell their stuff at oration. Almost never works out. I've seen a very few cases where it actually worked. On that note, oration begins this Friday, that is the 22nd of May. I will be there on the 23rd, and I'll be participating in the table topics and the international speech contest. I don't know if day passes are available, but if they are, do reach out and try to get yourself one. I promise you that it is going to be fun, learning, enrichment, enjoyment. Thank you so much. You were a very patient audience today, and I will hand it over to Nimit Mittal.
Thank you so much, Rupinder, for talking to us about oration, and finally sharing the dates of oration. Yes, they asked. The event is starting on 22nd. It's a 3-day event starting from Friday evening all the way to Sunday afternoon. The agenda is in place, and that agenda is very carefully curated. So like you said, let us go with open minds and without any agenda of our own, and just go there to enjoy the testimonials, the products of Toastmasters, the finished product of Toastmasters, how it looks like, be it the champions on the stage or the leaders of the stage. On both the sides, you'll see champions and excellence at its best. Looking forward to have you there. Looking forward to see you there. And Rupinder, I hope you are just not there on 23rd. You should be also there on the 24th when we reveal the results and we see you there with the district champion trophy in hand. So, ladies and gentlemen, to those who don't know, Rupinder is representing our Division H from Turning Point Toastmasters, both at the International Speech Contest and Table Topics Speech Contest, and would be there contesting 7 more contestants all the way from North India and Nepal, and wishing him all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll just have a quick word with our guest today, the lone guest, Dilip Kumar. You may please come up and share your takeaways from the meeting and what you look forward to.
Dalip, please confirm if
unmute
you are
yourself.
there.
Yeah, please unmute it.
Hi. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Please go on. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I got to know about a couple of things from Anand and as well as you distinguished Toastmasters, which I had a little idea, but not exactly what actually we are doing in Toastmaster clubs. So it was a wonderful experience for me as well. And regarding, I think yesterday we had one of the session when we were talking about pathway. So I have some queries around the pathway. So maybe post this call, when I will get some time, then maybe I'll ping. I'll just drop a message to you, and I'll put those queries to you so that maybe we can have a discussion. Overall, the session I literally enjoyed, and especially I got the opportunity to express myself. So that was really wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you, Dalip, for sharing your feedback. And also, yes, we can definitely discuss. There was a pathway session yesterday. I believe you are talking about the pathway session facilitated by distinguished Master Shwetank Sharma.
Yes, yes, right.
Yeah, so that was planned and organized by me only, but then I was not there. So if you have any follow-up questions, so feel free to write it to me, or for that matter, even Anand can help you, or I can also lead you to Shwetank, the trainer yesterday. Yeah, so I hope your
Sure.
questions
Thank you.
get clarified. Secondly, may I know from where you are from?
I'm from Gurgaon, Dwarka Expressway, Sector 110.
Okay, so you are my neighbor. So glad to see you
Is it so?
joining from Gurgaon, and even we are in Gurgaon. And I hope that next session you are able to make it in person so that we can meet you and you can enjoy the vibe of the physical meeting setting also.
Next
Sure.
meeting is not happening, so just talk about that.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding
Monday after.
Rupinder. As Rupinder was explaining about Oration, we have this grand event called Oration next week. So we will not be having this Toastmasters meeting, but we'll continue the subsequent week. That would be, I believe, 20
May 31st.
May 31st. So the last day of the May month, we would be meeting again, and we look forward to have you in person, Dalip, there.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, Dalip, and thank you everyone for joining. It was a lovely meeting, lovely setting, nice, cozy setting. Right, then anyone wants to share anything else? Gayatri Sanjida is here.
I'm reconnecting.
Yeah, I came from the bridge finally.
So one thing that I want to share here is for the Sunday after 15 days, 31st of May, let us keep the preparation alive in the group itself, even though we will be occupied in between, but let us keep working on it. We perhaps can find much better chance of attracting more audiences and guests if we have a poster and promotions ready beforehand, and if we can have some of the poster printed material distributed at this venue itself.
Yeah, that is something being worked on. And in fact, a few people from the venue did join, but yeah, we'll pursue that with more energy.
Sure. All right, all the best, Rupinder.
All the best, Rupinder. And also, I'm on the bridge is extensively used in Accenture. That means if somebody is waiting in the lobby, they don't use the term the sentence called I'm in the lobby. They would say I'm on the bridge.
Okay, I think she didn't get the joke. I understood that you were on the bridge, that is the Zoom bridge. I was just playing along the lines that Rupinder still didn't reach the venue. And we were just coordinating among each other that where you are and all of that. And when you said that I'm on the bridge, so I just took the opportunity to convert it into a joke that there's no bridge nearby. So where are you?
Now,
Yeah.
now you know why I told him to take
Joking
up
with
into
each other.
Zoom.
Two Accenture people joking with each other.
It looks better on Zoom. On that.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It's
And that's the reason I extended by saying that I'm waiting at the lobby.
Yeah.
Of the
my
live
fault. I
stream.
didn't